I made it 19 more minutes into the next part of the Jen McCabe witness testimony, and here are my general thoughts, opinions, observations, and things that made me go, what? That's where I started to see that Disney villain character start to come back. It was right when she told Mr. Lally, yes, he could have human legs, but she needed his voice. Miss McCabe's walking around here wearing a scarf made out of 100 puppies. Ha! I don't know how I missed this part the first time. Karen wanted to go eat. Ronnie's favorite thing about the whole trial. The reason they said no, 3 fat have a diet every year. They were like, no, we can't go. They've all been drinking for like 18 plus. If you get the lightest beer, it's still 100 calories. You know those tanks can have at least 20 beers. That's a 2,000 calorie diet right there. Which just leads me to believe more that they were all doing coke. And Jen thinks it's hysterical. Those big fat losers. Every year. That's how good it works. They have to do it every year.
So Brian, Chris, and Matt do this annual weight loss challenge every year, and it was in the midst of that. So they were like, no, we can't go up there. We're not going to eat. We'll do it another time.
Now I know this next part stuck out to a lot of people. Why were you guys going to the waterfall? Oh, it's my nephew's birthday. Brian Albert Jr. Baby Brian. Window shopper. Always looking out the windows. Oh, he's a window shopper. Old nervous Italian lady. He was there? No, he was home. Severe panic and anxiety disorder. So we all just went out for his birthday. He's the type of people that find any reason to go out and drink. Oh my God, our kid just lost a tooth. Let's get fucked up. So he wasn't there. He was at home rocking back and forth, shaking, being nervous with Julie Nagel. They go back and, have a beer with them. I was the first one there so I could wish BJ a happy birthday. I'll stick to calling him Brian Jr. He didn't go to the waterfall. I don't think he wants to have a beer with any of you guys. You realize why BJ doesn't want to hang out with any of them. BJ speaks the language of the bow tie.
So I went to meet my sister, Nicole. She was heading there because she was going to go have a drink with her. Her son was going to have some friends and then meet out. So I was going to meet them for a drink for my nephew's birthday.
To be clear, that nephew was Brian Albert Jr., is that right?
Yes.
And did Brian Albert Jr. ever show up at the waterfall that evening?
He did not, no.
Do you know why not?
Brian suffers from anxiety, and during that time period, he was really struggling.
So he decided to stay home?
He just decided to stay home, yes.
This next part was pretty interesting, discussing leaving the waterfall and how she was like, oh yeah, Karen, just come with me because Matt and John were still inside. And then she says, because God knows how long he'll be in there. Matt can talk to anybody. So she was willing to leave because Matt can talk to anyone, which drives her fucking nuts. Other people are probably like, oh, Matt can get along with anyone, So funny, so great. But she wouldn't get out of the car when he was on the phone, when they parked. But she's going to let him stay at the waterfall after midnight until God knows how long. He's a talker. Harry's the talker.
Inside. So at one point I said, oh, Karen, why don't you just come with me? Figuring, because, Matt can talk to anyone and God knows how long he was going to stay in there. So I was just like, hey, do you want to drive with me and they can meet us?
Your husband's a talker, is that correct?
Yes.
Here we start to get a little insight into the real villainous ways. Going back to 34 Fairview, and she's giving directions to John on the phone. Right by Bella's house. You know Bella, right, John? She knew exactly what she was doing when she did that. Bella's mother, and John had a thing. So she's using Bella's house, as a point of reference on how to get to 34 Fairview. It's 5 minutes away from the waterfall. Right down the house from the woman you used to date. Hi, Karen. Is Karen in the car with you? Can you hear me? Am I on speaker? What?
Past Bella Street, and it's at the bottom.
And Bella is someone that's through his niece, John O'Keefe would have known, correct?
Correct.
Now, at this time, what, if any, relationship were you aware of between Bella's mother and John O'Keefe?
They had dated briefly years before.
This next part made me laugh. He's talking about the girls that were at the house with Brian, Sarah and Julie Nagel. She doesn't know Sarah that much, but I let Julie Nagel walk my dog sometimes. When you approach a Nagel, you gotta put your hand out, let her sniff you first. If she doesn't know your scent, she will attack. Also, she's very forgetful on if Julie Nagel had dog sat for her, or if Brian was gonna walk her dog when they were away. If Brian couldn't, then Julie would. I don't take Jen McCabe as the type of person to not know who's in her house when she's not there. She fucking knows. The feeding trough was all set up, so I know Nagel couldn't have been far.
Julie Nagel was closer to Brian, so I would see her, I think, she's dog sat for me when I've been away. Like Brian will do it, but then if he's not available, Julie will do it. I don't know if she had dog sat for me before then or right after then, but
The last part is quintessential Jen. This is what lets me know that it's weird that she said that Matt could just stay at the waterfall and talk for however long. Doesn't know if Nagel's been in her house. She knows everything. When Karen and John pulled up to 34 Fairview, Brian Jr. was at the window being nervous, shaking and sweating. Saw a car out front. What does Jen McCabe do? Who is there? What's happening? I know everyone and I know everything.
I was sitting at the table and then my nephew had said another car was out there.
And after your nephew said that, what, if anything, did you do that?
I went to the front door.